Welcome to the TCO. I am the Corrupted Otaku, and as you can see down there, or wherever YouTube decides to move the title of this video, we are doing my first manga review, and this happens to be from Volume 1 of the D. Gray Man series. This chapter is entitled First Night Opening. Alright, in this particular chapter we're introduced to the main character, which is Alan Walker. We're also introduced to our main villain, who happens to be the Millennium Earl, even though his name is not directly given within this particular first chapter. The Millennium Earl likes to create these things referred to as akuma. They are basically weapons which are created from the tortured souls of a deceased person. And to pretty much sum it up, basically, you know, the Millennium Earl finds someone who's, you know, distraught, sad, mourning over the death of somebody that they just lost, and he presents to them this really creepy looking skeleton thing. If he appeared in front of me, I don't really think I'd be calling out the name of somebody, because I really don't think I'd want to be hugging this thing, even if it did sound like a person I just lost. You basically call out their name will appear on the actual skull of this really low-level akuma, and then the Millennium Earl basically orders this person to kill and wear this person's skin as their own. So yeah, that pretty much sums up exactly the concept that's going on here. I actually enjoyed it. You know, I really do enjoy these kind of like Soul or Grim Reaper type stories, and there are actually quite a few out there that I really wasn't aware of. I knew about, for example, Yu Yu Hakusho and Bleach. Those are both following the lines of like a Soul Reaper type scenario and job, and that's something that I really do enjoy. So we're also introduced to another minor character. Her name is Moa. Hopefully I pronounced it correctly. She's a police officer. We're also introduced to her brother as well, which I don't think they really gave his name, or they did, I just don't remember it. And a lot of stuff happens. I mean, a lot of stuff. You know, you're basically introduced to the characters. You're introduced to the concept of what who the Millennium Earl is, what he does, what an akuma is, what it actually is, and of course the ultimate job that eventually will be what Alan Walker, the main character, does. I did originally watch the anime first, and I didn't see too many things really different, noticeable from the anime episode to this actual manga chapter. I did enjoy it relatively good. I mean, even though I had seen the anime, it really wasn't like, you know, it wasn't like I was actually stopping and reading, but like, oh, this is the same thing, I could skip this chapter. I actually went through it. You know, it caught my attention. It kept my attention throughout the entire time. And I think that's something that's really good, especially for a comic book or even an anime. I mean, excuse me, a comic book or a manga series to be able to do. If you were to watch, say, the movie or the TV series, and then you go and you actually read that particular, you know, comic book or manga, and it actually is able to keep you in there, even if you've actually seen the anime or the cartoon version of it. So I really did enjoy that aspect, particularly of the very first chapter. You know, it was something I was familiar with, but it was in such a way that it kept me coming back and kept reading through the entire chapter. I found it relatively intriguing, and I think I kind of get this idea why people say the manga is usually better. You know, I think it did a really good job introducing the overall story. Well, not really the overall story, but, you know, somewhat of what the plot's going to be about. You know, we have an idea of who the main villain is. We have obviously the idea of definitely who the main character is. And we even get a very small hint of Alan Walker's past, which, you know, even though I do know it, I still found myself wondering, I wonder how they're going to execute it in the manga. If it's going to be the same thing, if it's going to be like the same kind of scene. So it's something I'm really looking forward to, alright? I hope you enjoyed this review / my thoughts on D. Gray Man, Volume 1, Chapter 1, entitled The First Night Opening. I'm not going to give you any kind of like number or anything like that. I'm just going to basically tell you what I liked, what I didn't like, if any of those apply. And because I have seen the anime, I will be comparing it to the anime, but only to really see if there's any major, massive differences and things like that. I will keep these as spoiler-free as possible, and I hope you enjoyed this chapter review of D. Gray Man Volume 1, Chapter 1, and I hope to see you next time on the TCO. And if you didn't notice, I got my new Ironi Samurai X t-shirt. All right? My camera's funking up right now, so I'll see you later.